Good afternoon, everybody. Today I'll be talking about The Witcher. I forgot the name of the show, The Witcher, which is a show I have been meaning to watch for years, and I finally got around to it. I binged watched the first season, and I'm not gonna lie. I give it 8 out of 10 stars. I'm not gonna lie. I really liked the concept. Uh, I'm not gonna lie. Some things were kind of similar to Game of Thrones. Like for instance, the White Flame, aka the Lord of Light. If anyone caught on to that, But overall, it was a pretty good show. I'm just gonna jump straight into it. The show pretty much focuses on the lead character played by Henry Cavill. If I pronounced his last name wrong, eat a shoe. But Henry Cavill is playing this like emotionally stunted monster hunter named Gerald. And I'm not gonna lie, I have never seen, I've seen Henry Cavill do like, unemotionally available characters before, but never like this. I mean, this man, I don't think this man smiles the entire first season in there. I ain't gonna lie. I don't remember this man smiling that one time. I mean, it was like seriousness from top to bottom. But pretty much the show starts off with him killing whatever that was in that swamp area. And he goes into a town. He's minding his own business. He's looking to sell whatever the monster is for a profit because he's an alcoholic and a man whore. Just wanted to get that out there. But then people start picking on him, and they're like, we don't take kindly to your kind coming around here, like the people from South Park in that episode. But he tries his best to stay out of the fray, and eventually this young girl, I couldn't tell whether that was an adolescent girl or an actual grown up girl, but whatever. I don't know. That girl was really short, but she ends up taking him to a wizard who's going under the surname of a previously dead wizard because he's in hiding from a girl that wants to go upside his head and make him run the fade. But he goes in and talks to him. That's when the wizard begins to tell him about a prophecy about a young girl that would be born with a mutated gene that's going to be the end of all life. But pretty much, they go through the motions. I'm really trying to fast forward with the plot. They go through the motions. He learns that he's already talked to the girl. The girl comes upon him. Her name is Renfrey, if I remember right, Renfrey. And they begin talking, and he's telling her, you don't have to be a killer. You don't have to be the monster they call you to be. You can leave. She plays it off good. Yeah, I'm gonna leave tomorrow. I'm just starting new life. Next thing you know, he gets wind that she done lost her damn mind and she's going all over the place. Oh yeah, he gets a mysterious dream that tells him that there's someone out there that's for his destiny. Destiny is a phrase that's thrown around a lot on here. It's like their version of astrology to me. Like people reading the stars and stuff to tell them that everything's gonna be okay. And people, what the universe has in store for me. Okay, whatever. But yeah, so he goes back to the town. He runs into her. I mean, no. First, he ran into some of the villagers that were trying to start a fight with him. Runs through them marvelously. That fight scene was on point. I ain't gonna lie, that fight scene was good, was amazing. That's what really made me keep watching the show. That fight scene was all that. I'm not gonna lie. His fighting style was kind of new for me. But he ran through them, then gets in a fight with her. He ends up killing her. That's when the wizard comes through. He's a sick man. He likes cutting people open. He's Dexter apparently. He likes to hang around dead cut up bodies. So he ends up getting ran out of town because he made the decision to get in the fray when all he wanted to do was just be unbothered. So he ends up remembering the vision, like there's destiny and whatever, and that's when they fast forward to the Kingdom of Sintra, if I remember right, and that's when everyone's shooting the stuff. Princess Ciri is called from gambling, from the looks of it. All right, Princess. And her grandmother and grandfather, they're discussing war with Nilfgaard, and Nilfgaard is like unstoppable during this season. There's like nobody can do anything with these people. They're just going through smashing people. They're like the Fire Nation, where nobody's brave enough to stand up to them. But they're talking about it, and then next thing you know, they're going through the motions. They're going through the motions, and they got Ceres trying to be strong young woman, but then that word comes down from on high that them people them people you've been starting that trouble with outside. This ain't got nothing to do with me, Brody, bro. I'm about to go. They go out there. Her grandfather's the first to get blowed back. Grandmother comes back, half of her stomach missing, and from then on, it's just a massacre. People getting blown away. She talks to Mousetrap. Was it Mousetrap or Mouseman? Whatever that druid name was. Talk to him. Get him. Tells the granddaughter at the time, we won't know, but she, the whole thing, was just a big mess. So she says get her granddaughter out of there, and then she goes around passing out suicide packs to everybody, and everybody let's ride into the sunset together, whatever that means. But Kingdom's decimated. Nilfgaard takes over, and they continue their campaign. Geralt pretty much goes through meeting new people. One person in particular is a sorceress named Yennefer, witch sorceress. They're both the same name. Named Yennefer, and she used to be a, what do you call them people? A hunchback. And she's part elf, and she ends up becoming a witch. She goes through training from her teacher. Wait a minute, I had to write some of these people's names down now. Tisaya, if I'm pronouncing her name wrong, eat that shoe again. But she ends up becoming a powerful witch. She gives up her reproductive organs in order to go through a transformation and become beautiful. And no cap, I can't be the only one that felt sorry for Yennefer through her character development arc, but man, the way she did my man's when they were sharing each other's thoughts, and he found out she was elf and told, the way she did my man's Estred, the black dude, the black guy, the guy that likes to study runes and stuff. Man, the way she went from victimhood to, well, let me tell you about you love. If you ever got an argument with your girl, you know what I'm about to say. This first thing women, that's 9 times out of 10, it's the first thing women go to, that money or that other, but she read my man for old and new, like my auntie Fanny, and next thing you know, she ran off, went in, got that little plastic surgery done, and she came out. She was bad, man. I ain't gonna lie on her, but man, I was like, man, I am done with this chick. This chick ain't nothing. And fast forward, she ends up down the road meeting Geralt after he goes through. He meets up with this. What do you call this guy? Singer? I think he has a ukulele. And I think his name is Dandelion. Man, I don't know how to pronounce that guy's name. I'm gonna just call him Dandelion. But they go on some adventures together. It's a really disturbing episode in between them adventures too, where King was digging up in his own sister, and one of the guys that was in love with his sister put a curse on her. Man, look, I ain't gonna lie, The Witcher has some sick episodes now. I ain't gonna lie. I wouldn't consider that a filler though. That was good for character development. Till we know that Geralt actually had compassion for people and wasn't just a ruthless monster hunter just going around blowing away anybody. And I ain't gonna lie, Cuz was putting in work on that little girl in that fight too. I ain't gonna lie, he was fighting like Bruce Wayne in that fight with Bane. Nothing held back, like young man. But he ends up saving the girl, so that was pretty good to see that he has compassion on intelligent monsters or people who have been cursed. He's not just going around like if something seems out of the ordinary. But then they go through the motion. He meets Yennefer when he's trying to look for when he was looking for a djinn, and his friend Dandelion got messed up. Turns out he was the one with the wishes all along. But it's pretty cool. Him and Yennefer link up. They go through the whole motions. Yennefer is apparently obsessed with orgies or whatever. Put your kids in the closet. This is not a kid friendly video. uh, but you know they go through the whole motions of that, and whatever goes on with that, you know they end up hooking up. Uh, I'm trying to see if I'm forgetting anything important before I move on. Anyway, apparently years go by since that encounter, which is crazy. I thought like a day had went by. Apparently years have gone by when they meet up again, and it's on a dragon hunt. You know, they go through the motions to hunt the dragon, and Yennefer finally tells Geralt why she is so bent on getting more power. She wants to be able to have a baby again. Gerald reads her. You know you don't want no baby. Man, you just trying to do it for the gram. You know, they go through the whole thing, and that's when Gerald discloses what his final wish to the Jinn was, and that's when Jennifer, he didn't want to lose Jennifer. I keep calling her Jennifer. It's Jennifer. And Yennefer was like, I know you didn't love me. See, my insecurities got to come out now because, you know, a strong woman, you know, I can't be vulnerable around you like that, Jack. But whatever. I was actually kind of upset. I was actually kind of feeling for Gerald. I was like, man, this dude been cold through the whole series, and he finally, you know, even though she's a, you know what, he liked her. You know, they was helping each other. You know, I thought they was gonna go the distance with this thing, but you know, and my man's that turned into the gold dragon, he was so cold. Let me save y'all some conversation and heartbreak. You gonna lose him, and you gonna lose her. So go ahead and let that go. My man's was cold, I ain't gonna lie. But he ends up telling Dandelion to get the heck on, and that's the last time we gonna see about him in the whole series. But continuing, and if people haven't noticed, I'm not really talking about every major thing in the show. I'm really sticking to like main characters because The Witcher has a big cast, so I'm not finna sit here and go over the storylines of all these people. I'm sticking to the main characters. So then, you know, that's when the big war is about to go down. They find out that, what's that lady named? Frengalia, the Black Witch. She's turned sides and she's become, I guess you can call her a cultist. Like she's been brainwashed into the White Flame, like the Red Priestess from Game of Thrones, where she's just bent on seeing the prophecy fulfilled, the vision that she got. And this guy, I had to write these people's names down. Kaiher, the leader of Nilfgaard, the emperor or whatever, he's just been on taking over the continent. He wants to rule everything. He wants to bring his vision into fruition, and he is going to stop at nothing to make it happen. But, bro, was I the only one that was like, when Fringella, the Black Witch, came back to, whatever that place called where Yennefer was taught, I forget the name of it. But when she came there and told all them witches and sorcerers, druids and whatever that she ain't about to stop helping these people destroy the continent and they about to take over. Why didn't they clean up for old and new then? They let this go back out there. I was like, this got to be crazy. I was like, you know this is TV shows. In real life, she would have had to run that fade coming up in there after causing all the demolition she did. But she leaves. They end up, you know, what Yennefer's teacher, I had to write that name down too. Tessia gathers up Yennefer and a couple of other mages and witches and sorcerers, and they go out on the battlefield. It's a big battle. Gerald, I don't know why they wrote him out of the fray, but they had some little arc where he gets bitten by whatever the zombie men's trying to save a farmer who didn't want to leave dead bodies out when Gerald had told him, hey man, you better get up out of here before them things come out and put them knots upside your head now. One bite to kill you, and he's still out there looking food. But Gerald ends up getting bitten, fighting them things off, and you know, that pretty much decommissions him for the rest of the series pretty much. For the rest of the series pretty much. He's just going through hallucinations, sees his mother, he's asking her questions. She's like, don't ask me no questions because it's only gonna bring up hurt for me and you. And I'm sitting there like, what hurt for you? You left me with no questions, no nothing. And you know, it was a wild scene, but I'm surely trying to fast track. You know, all hope seems lost. Yennefer does forbidden fire magic, and she just unleashes everything. You know, all the heartbreak, all the pain, all the shame, all the men. You know, she was like Meg Griffin at one point. She was somewhere when all the boys weren't calling, and she took all that. She took that scene where Estrade, when her and Geralt fell out, and she tried to go back to my man. You know, she had to go back to one of her first simps now. You know, she tried to go back to him. My, can we start over? And Cuz gave her a deep kiss, and then he told her, "Nah, not this day, chick. My simping day is over with. I'm just gonna focus on this work." I was like, "Okay, red pill. Okay, red pill." But you know, Yennefer pretty much saves everybody, and you know, everybody thinks Yennefer's dead. We don't know if she's alive at that exact point, but we end up seeing at the end of the season that she is still alive. Oh, I left out. I always do that. Left out. The entire season, I was not really a big fan of the Ciri arc, you know, her character development stuff. It was kind of like they was just doing it just cause, kind of. Her arcs were pretty boring to me. I mean, I know we had to learn stuff about her. We had to learn all those other stuff. You know, we had to, you know, they taking us to the flashbacks and all that. You know, we learned that her grandma was a pretty bad person. Her grandpa was a simp. Her father was an honorable man, but her grandma was she was like the worst, and she deserved everything she got in that show. You know, learned her mother was, I guess, a mage or whatever with raw power, and passed it on to her daughter. Her daughter, Ciri, is pretty much like this all powerful witch that's going to be used to destroy the world, which kind of contradicts what the guy in the beginning said when he thought it was Renfri. So it turns out Geralt killed that woman for nothing. It turns out that whole village ruined that girl's life for nothing, pretty much. But it really isn't, I think, till like the last two episodes or the last episode where Geralt finally meets up with the girl that he was promised from some junk called, I don't know, I forget what they call it. The promise, where you out here promising kids that you ain't even had yet, which is kind of crazy. Oh, I had selling kids like they food stamps. I'm like, what? But yeah, he finally gets up with her at the end, and you know, that whole Ciri arc was a mess. Some of the stuff really didn't make any sense. You know, you know, it was a good series, but some of the stuff didn't make any sense. Like the continent looks like it was filmed in like European. It looked like it's in a European atmosphere. Why is there a whole Amazon rainforest setting right outside of a winterland with humid weather and black people everywhere? I was like, what the hell is this? I was like, ain't no sun shining out here on no average day. I was like, what the hell these black people doing out here? And say they could have said it was you know, magic surrounding it to make it look like this, you know, but just to have like a humid hot place, you know, a forest just in the middle of snow, you know, snowy places, is like with no explanation. It's like it's just there. Like, what the hell is this? Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, they had like too many different races and stuff in this show. They had like races everywhere, but you know, the character development of some of these people from these races was like pretty sloppy. Uh, like they had like so many different, from the looks of it, so many different black races, but no one was explaining where these people were from. How did they get here? Like, what the hell are you doing over here in just European climate? What the hell is this? But it's whatever. The show was pretty good. I like the way they developed Gerald. How they start him out like, you know, he's just, you know, just this hired gun. You know, I don't care about nothing. And then you get to see his emotional side. Henry Cavill should win an Oscar for that performance. But yeah, whatever. You know how they do. But it was a pretty awesome show. Currently watching season 2, so whenever I finish watching that, I'll make a video about that. I know this video is a little longer than I wanted it to be. You know, trying to get better at making shorter videos. So I'm not rambling. But overall, I liked it. I would highly recommend anyone over the age of 18 to watch it. Shoot, man, that show got some crazy imagery in it. I ain't gonna lie. Anyone over the age of 18 to watch it, it's a great show. And they're all worth the shows. And I give it 8 out of 10. But if you like the video, drop a like and a subscribe and share it if you'd like. But all y'all have a good night. And I'm about to get back to watching season 2. Okay.